going on, y'all? It's J Ball, and again, we are back with another Church Nerds episode. I got the crew on with me. We got Norman Heath, aka Just the Facts. He's gonna fact check everything, okay? We got Dre. He's in the building. We got Brandon Travis, preached a mighty message down there in Mississippi. And we got none other than the organist, the Real Walls is here. What's going on, y'all?
Hey, what's going on?
What's good?
Man, we hope everyone had a great past Mother's Day weekend, man. We're excited. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers, especially the first-time mothers and the soon-to-be mothers out there. So, we ain't got two of our brethren on here. They're real busy at this time, so they couldn't hop on. But we're all perfectly capable of handling the podcast. Absolutely. And by the way, if y'all don't know, we are on Spotify, we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Google Podcasts.
Hey.
So check it out. With you. Come on, check us out, and make sure you still go like, comment, and subscribe on our Facebook and our YouTube page, man. We are excited. We are doing big things. We know God is going to bless us and this podcast. He's going to bless us. But look, man, we got an important topic to talk about tonight.
But hold on,
all of us.
Jay.
What's up?
You can't forget the big thing.
What's the big thing?
You know what episode this is, right?
Oh man, you listen.
Come on, man. This is a milestone episode, brother.
This is why they keep me in check. They keep me in check. Listen, if y'all haven't noticed, Norm, go ahead, Norm. Put the fingers up. Put the 10 fingers up, Norm. It's episode 10, y'all. We are moving. This is episode 10, yo. Yes. Listen, I wouldn't want to do it with no other brethren, man. These are my brothers. This is the reason why we are wanting them to be on this podcast, man. This is exciting.
So Jay, real quick.
What up?
One day we're gonna have to tell the story of this because
we want to tell the story.
We got to tell the story one day. One day we got to come back and tell how all this came to be because it's a funny story.
It is actually a really funny story.
It's a funny. So one day, I'm not sure what episode it's going to be. We got to let the people know.
We're going to say that for episode 20.
I was about to say, I think episode 20 should be around national time. So maybe when we all in person, that'd have to be an in-person podcast, talk about, the story.
The origin.
The origin. Maybe we can have Bishop Gates there and I tell him, Bishop, you know the story?
If Bishop Gates stopped by, this podcast gonna go through the moon, Daddy. Y'all
what you say?
All the way off. So
listen, we definitely listen. Bishop Gates, eventually, Bishop. I know you're a busy man. If you watch this next episode, we love you. We would love to have you on this podcast with us. Definitely, you are our leader. And we are praying for you because we know how busy you are, but we would love to have you on this podcast with us. In Jesus' name. Amen. But listen, episode 10, man.
Not in Jesus' name.
Yeah, man.
Was that a prayer?
That was
right. It was a prayer and a request.
Right. It was
a prayer request.
Hey, make your request known. Make your request known.
You've been to church long enough. You ain't got to be deep and mysterious. All you can just say in Jesus' name, and then that's it.
Right. And it's going to happen. You got to manifest it.
You gotta manifest it.
He gotta do it now. It was in Jesus' name. He ain't got no choice. You can't say no now.
There's 2 or 3 of us gathered on here, so it's gotta happen. Let me stop before Brandon want to preach. He got the mic in front of him.
I don't want.
Y'all should see this man preach, man, for real though. I didn't know that Brandon could preach like that.
Brandon
honestly,
can go.
I tapped into Mississippi because my aunt goes to that church in Jackson, Mississippi. So I tapped in. And I see this man running back and forth, screaming, robe just flapping in the wind like a cape.
Right.
I mean, it was. I was like, is that Brandon? What is happening?
Hey, man. Listen, Brandon's one of my favorite preachers. Man. He's one of my favorites, bro. No, that's real talk.
He's a preaching machine.
He a preaching machine. So all of y'all, get this man for y'all youth services.
One day, though, I need to try to get a robe, though, or get a cape like all the bishops get, but I'm going to get the Superman symbol on the back of the cape.
Hey, man, wait, listen. Like we said, this is episode 10, and we want y'all to continue to support us. We feel the support. All right, we getting nothing but support from all our loved ones, our church members. We want you all to continue to share, like, and comment, man, for real. We need y'all support. We want to make this big, okay? But listen, I'm gonna say this now. When we have the live show in person, we are going to tell the story of how this all came together. Because it's a hilarious story.
Because I think it had something to do with the convention, didn't it?
It did. I think at the convention, I had the idea, and the first person I bought it to was Gabe, you know, and then all of a sudden I was like, Norm knows streaming, so let me go ask Norm.
And the rest will save.
Yeah, and the rest will say, y'all get the tease, y'all get the little snippet. That's it. But listen, we're excited. But listen, we got to talk about something very important, man, that all of us are taking very seriously. Even you at home, I know you guys are taking this serious too. What is going on with the MCU? I am thoroughly confused. And what's worse is now the Screenwriters Guild, they are on strike, and all the projects have been pushed back. So we need to talk about this. And obviously, I think this is a perfect time. We need to talk about this Jonathan Majors situation. How they handling that? Are they going to cut him? They're going to keep him? You know, what's going on? The state of the MCU is, I think, Norm, what did you tell us earlier? It's up in flames.
It's up in flames, brother. I mean, they had a good little hit with Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I'm gonna give it to them. That was a very dope movie. I mean, it was dope.
There we go.
But outside of that, man, it was flop.
First of all, the TV shows didn't help. The two solid ones was Loki and Captain America, but
What If was solid.
Yeah, Loki was pretty good.
What If was pretty solid.
No, that's what I'm saying. Solid. Okay, What If was solid. I mean, I liked Moon Knight, but it didn't tie it into anything.
You like
it didn't tie it into nothing.
Well, isn't Moonlight? Isn't that a part of Venom or Spider-Man or something?
Not Moon Knight is kind of like his own.
As of right now,
his own like section. Like it's a weird thing.
I felt like it was tied to some.
It's connected to something.
It's connected to Black Panther, ain't it?
Yeah, because they went through like the
Egyptian times.
The Egyptian time. So
like
all that, the Egyptian time when he had technically died, that spiritual plane ties into the Black Panther spiritual plane and everything.
I can't even watch Moon Knight.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it, and I mean, I got to be honest. I know as a business decision, making these TV shows behind the paywall gave them money, but as a viewer, it was a bad idea to me because now I got to go to the movies. I got to go at home and watch the TV show to know what's going on in the movies. And if I don't do that, then I don't know what's happening. And like at the end of what was it, Ant-Man, right? You have what's the name? Not Mobius.
Morbius.
It was Mobius and Loki at the end. But if you didn't know who Mobius was, you won't know why they're here.
Right.
Yep.
So,
or like we said, if you didn't know, you're trying to figure out Loki died in Infinity War, so y'all you seeing him
here?
like
or like why all of a sudden the Scarlet Witch evil? Last time I saw her movie, she was cool.
Well, y'all silly. Wait, are these real? Are these real?
No, we're just explaining to ask a question. But
I mean,
we know because we watch this stuff. But the average person.
Yeah, if you didn't watch WandaVision, you wouldn't know why Scarlet Witch ended up there. And if you didn't watch the TV shows, you won't know how the movies are, where they are, and what's going on. So
right, true, very true. You really got to watch everything to understand it.
But that's my thing. Even with Moon Knight, I didn't even know anything really about Moon Knight until the show came out. Yeah, I didn't know what his powers was. I didn't know no origin story. But so like we said, say to the consumer who loves the MCU but didn't read none of the source material. So when Moon Knight come out, you're like, okay, who is this? You know, how's he tie into what they trying to do? You know what I'm saying? So it's just up in flames right now.
Moon Knight was a shot in the dark, no pun intended. It's just an offshoot. They was trying to get something new out there, but they really even developed the story that well. I think it only had 6 or 7 episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I'll watch Moon Knight before I watch She-Hulk. Go ahead.
I'm mad I watched She-Hulk. I thought it was gonna be really good. I watched it. I was mad at myself for watching that terrible show.
It was like one of the things like you watch every week. Like, okay, you know what? This next episode gonna be better. This is gonna be better. Yep, it's gonna be better. Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Nah,
Not
I was mad. That episode with Megan Thee Stallion, I about threw my TV out the window.
I didn't even watch the episode when I found out that she was going to be on an episode. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna just skip this one right here.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Drake.
Because Moon Knight is pretty much its own universe. I mean, you can try to tie it to Black Panther, but I don't think it's tied to anything, honestly. I think it's just a new character that they decided to bring to life.
mm-hmm.
Right.
Because I don't even think that comic book was issued in the Avengers universe. I think it was a whole different universe.
It was a whole different thing. So that's my thing. So where is the storyline going?
Yeah, right.
Where is it going? So that's our first question. Like, go. My bad, Brandon. Go ahead.
Just real quick, and I was about to say, I think it too. I read an article a long time ago, like back when Marvel was being born, and DC was coming along too. It was really almost like a race off to the races. Who can develop the most characters and the most superheroes? And sometimes they develop characters that weren't in the main story plot of some of their main characters, just to keep pumping out content for their quote unquote universe. And I think that's kind of where Moon Knight kind of just, it was a thought that somebody had. Hey, what about this guy? He's almost like an anti-hero. And I think that's where it came from. And there's some other ones in different universes that kind of just like those one-offs, but not really tied into anybody's overall theme or storyline. So
I think that is that what they did with what's it called, Werewolf by Night.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually good though.
But that was
that was fire. I like.
Yeah, I wouldn't say all of them bad, but some of them were. Like
Now they did say there was some linking to Werewolf by Night and Moon Knight, but I don't see it.
Maybe the show been Blade, I guess.
So will Morbius.
Oh, here we go.
Gabe's not on.
Gabe's not on there.
Or Brian.
But that's my thing. So what do y'all think? So my first question is, how should Marvel handle the MCU storyline now? I mean, because here's my thing, and I was telling Norm this earlier. Those first 10 years, they built their starting five. They built their all-star team, pretty much, that everyone fell in love with. Cap, Iron Man, Hulk, Widow, Hawkeye. They built their all-star team, right? Mm-hmm. And when Endgame ended, the all-star the team dispersed. It seemed like they all just all retired pretty much. Mm-hmm. Now they saying the MC Marvel Studios, they don't know who's going to be the face now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think what they did was when Majors played He Who Remains in Loki, spoiler alert if you haven't seen Loki. When he played He Who
now. I'm gonna say
you'll be surprised. You still got a lot of people be like, who? But when he played he did such a great job as a performance. I think with the MC, they tried to make him like stand out more than the heroes that they built the past 10 years over. You know what I mean? Like the heroes of the past 10 years were the face of Marvel. Now, after that one performance, that one villain scene, like they try to make this one person the face of Marvel leading up to Kang Dynasty, but now your star person that you want to be the face is in legal trouble now. Mm-hmm. So now they scrambling trying to find. All right, so what are we going to do? You know, I want to hear y'all opinions on that. You know, how the MCU storyline going to be moving forward if Jonathan Majors is unable to play Kang?
Well, I want to. I don't know. I mean, because you got so many different conjunctions in this whole situation with Marvel. You got the writers' table, you got the Actors Guild, now you got Jonathan Majors. You have mediocre, actors who are desperate to get roles who might not fit the role, but you need fillers because you have no prominent actors that's wanting to step up to the plate. Because I heard there's a lot of distress in these roles and a lot of restrictions for actors to get other parts in other roles in other movies just because they can't do certain things. Kind of like the Christian Bale and Batman situation where he couldn't wear tux in another movie, or he couldn't, just stuff like that. Like, so I don't really see them really dropping Jonathan. I don't think it has to be something catastrophically bad for him.
I mean, what do you think if he's found guilty?
I mean, he's already guilty. He was born in the world black. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's just be honest.
I get that, but just that guilty verdict charged to him, like on paper.
I mean, based off the evidence that's been shown so far, I just don't see how or why. It has to be something that they're not sharing with us. To
because
really
his lawyer and him, they're very advocate that he's completely innocent and they ready to just be done and over.
But it's almost like they need a storyline to make an example out of somebody or someone, because they've been pushing this whole Me Too situation and all these allegations that they're trying to be serious about. They're trying to bring people down. They're trying to bring stuff. I'm sure they're going to bring stuff up from the past, from his past, that they're going to try to pin on him and foot the bill for the jury to look at him as a guilty individual, which he's not. So I'm hoping he comes out of this super clean, and hopefully he can sue anybody that tried to come for him, get him a bag, and just go on with his, prominent career that he's created for himself. So,
right.
I don't know what the storyline is going to be for Marvel, because, like you said earlier, Jay, he's kind of the face of Marvel right now, because it's really, I mean, we don't know if any other cast from the original Avengers is coming back.
Right.
And they really have nobody to really make a story off of outside of King right now. Maybe Blade, but that's we don't know how that's gonna look. so it's
right.
Just, Phase 5 has to. I don't know if it's gonna survive, man. It might be the worst phase, just because
I don't know. Phase 4 was pretty bad.
I mean, honestly, if I could give them any advice, I would say quality over quantity. Because quality is what got them where they were in the first place. Like phase one, because I had to look up just to make sure I wasn't crazy. Phase 1 ran from 2008 to 2012. It was only 6 movies, and that's it. Then phase 2 was 2013 to 2015. Again, 6 movies, and that's it. So then phase 3 comes on. It gets a little more, but you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 movies in 3 years. That ends that wraps up what's Far From Home, which is the end of the Infinity Saga. Right? You go to phase 4, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 projects.
Wow.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I didn't even know they had any more projects. That's crazy.
Wow.
They try to cram everything in.
Well, that's why you can see why the writing might have been lacking a little bit. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, because it's
just
it all
a lot. And then not on that, no, like everything's crammed in. Now you confusing people and trying to push it.
Well, I don't even think it's confusing. You're not even waiting to see how it pans out. How your strategy for writing this movie, and see actually how the writing evolves to generate something else next is like you're not even giving it time to grow.
I feel like they didn't have a true direction after that first phase. They got to Thanos. They did that story, and it was like, oh, okay, what do we do now? Well, you know what? There's 20 other characters we can use that we have the rights for. Let's introduce them all. And it's like, where's the actual plan? Where's the strategy? Where's the them building this? So I think that's where their issue is right now. Is to really even now it's like looking at what's coming up next. Like I think what's about to come out, Secret Invasion. Even that, it's like when you look at that. I'm looking at how do you have Secret Invasion without none of the major heroes?
Right.
Like if you go to the comics, that's a very big storyline.
Huge storyline.
Secret Invasion is coming out before the Marvels.
Yeah.
Yeah, Secret Wars is supposed to come out. Yeah.
But no, Darrell, you're right. That could have been a phase by itself. It definitely could have been a phase by itself.
And they were, they played into that with Captain Marvel and with the Skrulls, because that's really where they're trying to go. So they already had a way in just to develop that. But if you answer this question, how should Marvel handle it? The thing is they're legitimately stuck right now in this until all this litigation gets done, till the writers come back, till the actors get all that stuff. They are stuck, and they have to make a real decision. If you're just talking about Jonathan Majors, are they going to keep him like Dre was saying? Are they going to keep him regardless of the verdict and try to move forward, or are they just going to go another way? Because I would love to see like the X-Men be done the right way. We have so many X-Men spinoffs, and I know they got Fantastic Four. They just cast that one guy for Reed Richardson, the new Fantastic Four. So they really got to make a decision what they want to do. But then back to Norm's point, I will go back to how they did it in the beginning. 3 years, 6 movies was a good pace.
It was
a good pace. And I think maybe their eyes got a little too big because they saw the success that they were having with these movies because of the nostalgia, because of the action, all of this stuff. And they're like, man, if we pump out more, we'll make more money. And now they're coming to the realization that's not true.
And I think the contract that Marvel Studio has with Disney is a distribution contract. So I think they had to meet a standard of what they put out as far as projects to meet the contract agreement with Disney, or they probably won't go get paid.
But here, anybody know about a good contract? You make a good contract, but when you perform on that contract or overperform in the beginning, I'm going back to the negotiations table. We got to talk about this.
We got to review it
because I was gonna say, because now it's not just you funding us and helping us get it. Now we've got the roadmap, we've got the goods that people want. And if we got to go through litigation, break our contract, we'll deal with it. But Disney would lose more than just the money they invested. So you got to have some people in place that's not just on the writing side, but the legal side, negotiation side, so that you don't get your company in a bind like that.
And that's why I said this year might be the worst, just because it's going to be a lack in production. It's going to be a lacking in performance. It's going to be a lacking in talent. Because if they don't pay this Writers and Actors Guild what they deserve and they continue to go on strike, then, like they said, it's going to suffer. And we're not going to get, the fan base is not going to get what they're looking forward to. Because, fan bases, they measure it by the comics, a lot of us. And, of course, things can't be on point or the same across the board, but we want it to come at least a little close. And if nothing is spilled into it as far as writing and acting, then I think, nobody's going to want to see anything. Like, I went to go see Fast and the Furious today. And I actually, no, hear me out. I actually enjoyed it.
I'm done.
But
I can't do it anymore, Dre. I can't.
People thought it was, I ain't going to tell you what's going on. But look, man, they going to keep making money. Because,
it's true.
They got quality writers. That's why those movies take so long to come out, but they come.
But yeah, because I mean, I was thinking about that with Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible was on its 7th movie, but it's been around since like the early 2000s.
Right.
And every movie makes money.
Man.
I mean, the weakest was Mission Impossible 2, but once they leaned into that 4, everyone
it took off.
It just took off because you
that
lean
goes back
into what works.
Yeah, that goes back to that. You got to give a story time to breathe, man. Writers can write. That's their job, right? But if any of y'all have ever written, like I've written a couple books, haven't published them yet, but I've written them. But it helps when I write something, I just leave it alone and I let it grow in my mind and grow, and don't just like create a finite storyline, right? And just try to get it done, because it's not going to come together. It's not going to be right.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Like Norm said, quality is better than quantity.
It is.
Actually, look it up. They started in '96.
That's crazy.
Mission Impossible was
Wow.
96.
That's crazy.
Mission Impossible 1 was 1996.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild. That's crazy. I didn't even know that. I thought it was early 2000s.
So I was
Yeah.
Wow. I'm trying to think of another franchise with the movies that took a little bit. The James Bond with Daniel Craig. Some of his movies they spaced out, and each one of those movies were good, and they made money because like Norm said, they took their time in between to write out what they wanted to write out. Like Brandon, for example, you said it needs time to breathe. That's what a writer is there for. A good writer knows they has to let it breathe. But that ties into the next question. Do you think AI should be able to write scripts? Because wait. Because the whole Writers Guild, they're saying they will use AI to help do research on a thing, but they do not.
Do your own research.
That's my thing, though, Brandon. I'm like, so y'all want something else to read? Why don't you do the research yourself?
Open up a comic book. If you don't even know this stuff, you shouldn't be writing.
If you gotta read what the AI saying, might as well just read the comic book.
I'm gonna tell you now, based off of what the AI can do, they would write a perfect script. I'm not gonna lie, because they analyze everything, keyword by keyword, and takes it into consideration and mathematically breaks it down into their own stance of. They probably write a great script. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't want an AI writing because there's no, organic feeling there. It's all automated, so it's kind of like what they already been doing with these movies. I believe they've been using AI for a minute already, writing these trash movies that they've been coming out with.
I think it would work for like one or two, but after a while, when the AI just tried to keep, once it has that formula, quote unquote, figured out. Every movie would just be the same formula.
Yeah,
right.
Basically, and it has.
And that's part of the problem now too. But
AI is only as good as it's programmed, and then what channels is it able to pull from to learn as it's growing? You're not inputting the whole comic book into the AI system so it can learn, right? It'll pull stuff from the internet and stuff from what people said and all this stuff, which might not even be true or close to the actual storyline. So it's only as good as its program and the sources that it can pull from.
But think if it pulled the information from the fanboy forums.
But even some of the fanboy forums aren't good.
Yeah, some of the fanboy forums just be nuts, man.
But I'm telling you, a lot of these, like even with the anime fanboy short movies, I mean, there's some. They need to give some of these animators and writers a chance, these fanboy animators, because they make a lot of concepts that can really work. And I feel like if, studios gave a lot more fanboys time and chances, a lot of our stuff might be a little better, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know though, Drake.
I don't know, because I feel like right now, like you said, it's the same concept. Like Brandon was saying, AI, they'll just follow that same algorithm formula, and everything will be the same. Like you said, most of the stuff that's been coming out has been the same thing, and it'll get boring after a while.
And then go ahead, Norm. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I mean, a business is in a business to make money. right? It ain't too often that a business is going to do a passion project and be willing to lose money for originality. I mean, not again. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes they will, but I mean, let's look at it right now. Social media is going crazy about the Color Purple movie being remade again, right?
Yeah.
People going nuts over this, right? And all they're doing is remaking something again. It's not the original story. It's the same story that was in the movie from Steven Spielberg, same story that was in the book before that. But they're going to remake it. Now Fantasia's in it. Everybody losing their minds.
Fantasia, Taraji. Shout out to Taraji.
And I'm sure it's going to make a ton of money, but it's the same movie.
Right.
That's the AI formula. It just nostalgia is selling right now, so they just go.
My whole thing is there was an article came out about AI when it was breaking free. Everybody understand it about somebody using AI to write a college paper, and the college professor didn't know that it was written by AI. The guy turned it in. The guy got a C. So even with AI, all of its intelligence and all of its sourcing and all of its data, it put something together that was structurally correct, but the integrity of the piece was not correct. And that's what you got to look at when you're talking about Marvel or things on superhero. It's the integrity of the characters that fans watch. It's the integrity of the storyline that we know that brings us, to it. And when something is just given to us that's just words and plot and format, but no integrity, you don't gravitate to it as much. You don't get that spark that you feel,
That was all phase 4.
But honestly, I think, and this is, y'all might not agree, I think Marvel should just halt all productions for the rest of the year and refocus and re-strategize.
What you mean we won't agree? We agree with you before you said it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was even thinking that they should take the James Gunn approach.
Yeah.
Wipe it clean, man. Start over. I mean, because y'all already superseded y'all expectations.
Y'all did.
And they've been trying to chase that ghost ever since.
But go ahead. Here's the thing. They need to salvage the reputation that they had in the beginning, what they still have, the little shred of reputation they still got, disregarding some of the terrible movies that have come out recently, and restart and just start over. They got the money.
But where should start over from, though? I mean, I think if you're going to start over, you got to shut down and give it a minute to just reset.
Just shut down for a year.
I mean, because at this point, do you start over with the X-Men? Do you start over with Fantastic Four? Do you start over with Silver Surfer? Do you start? I mean, they took a chance on Iron Man in the first place because Iron Man wasn't the big dog like he was in the movies. In the comics, Iron Man was like a B-level superhero. I mean, so it's like, okay, where do you start from again, or is it better to just chill out,
right?
About 5 years and then.
But that's what I'm saying. Not just shutting down just to stop everything, but fix the Writers Guild. Talk to the writers. Get that together. Talk to each stakeholder group. Come together as a universe, as a company, as a people production, whoever makes the decisions, and then they just got to pick something because looking at the back of Darrell's poster right there, it's a lot of people to pick from in Marvel.
Right,
there's a lot of storylines that can be done right.
Well, I feel like if they do redo a phase or the next phase, if they can hear us from wherever they are. Start with somebody we haven't seen in a while, like going back to where they first began. Fantastic Four. I don't know if the Hawk was owned by Marvel yet. I think it was owned by Sony.
Yeah, he was still owned by Sony.
First came out with Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Let's not start with Iron Man. If you do, let's start with his daughter. You know what I'm saying? Just rephase it from a generational standpoint. Don't start where you started originally, but start where you started, with new faces, fresh faces, and see where you go from there. If you can't reach the bounds you reached before then, maybe it's time to give it up.
I can see it too. That was my last one. I can see it too. You said start with Tony Stark's daughter. Dude, you open up the theater with Tony Stark dying again. That scene, dude, you have people instantly in that movie. Faces of his daughter. I mean, Come on, man.
Okay, so here's the question then. So, can Marvel do what DC did with, for example, so the DC method is always about rebooting and starting over again. Like the Batman has been done at least 6 times. There's been 6 different Batmen, some better than others. I think I'm 6. Am I right with 6?
I think it's more than 6, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, as far as like cinematic Batman.
Oh yeah.
Batman. I mean, because obviously there's more. You got Adam West and the two guys before him and all that. I know, brother. I know.
Hey,
You got the Batman
Batman right.
Okay,
Batman right.
I got my hey.
Yeah, you
Okay.
gotta know.
But I'm saying though, can that methodology be brought to the MCU where you just take a character that's already established and just do them over again with a different type of bend to them?
I would say where Marvel is now, they could, but I wouldn't advise it because they've had movies that have been terrible. So if you recast the character and then the characters, you're tainting like not just the movie but the character itself. Because I mean, Batman, like you said, to your point, Batman's been done a whole bunch of times. This last time when they had that one dude, I forget his name, play Edward and
Robert Pattinson.
terrible Batman, just terrible.
I like that Batman. It was cool.
I mean, you wouldn't.
If Gabe was in here, he
Okay.
strongly disagree with you, Brandon.
Okay.
But no, I'm just kidding. But I'm saying,
It was trash. Robert Pattinson is terrible.
yeah. Anyway, but think about that. For those people that didn't like it, it doesn't taint the image of Batman because at the core of the Batman character, the theme has always been the same. The plot has always been the same. Even if you get a bad actor. So I would say just because Marvel's kind of on that tipping point right now, I would just do a whole new enter in somebody else's universe, man, and just
Do a surprise Gambit movie. Like, come on, man. Like, we need to be in this room, bro.
Hey man, Andre waiting for a Gambit film, dog.
Let me tell you something. I'm telling you, if they ever come out with a Gambit movie, I'm paying for everybody tickets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so what they could do though, they could do like a different multiverse with Terrence Howard was actually stayed as Rhodey and see what happens.
Yeah,
Iron Man.
He get that next time. He get that next time.
Next time.
come on, man.
Come on, man.
With how they did those first phases, using quality. And do you guys think if they did do a reboot, would they have to get big name actors to do these roles? Or
see, I don't think so. Because
how big was Robert Downey when he got Iron Man?
now he wasn't big at all. I didn't hear about Robert Downey Jr. until Iron Man.
See, that's one thing Marvel did great. They picked actors you were not seeing. They were not big name actors. They were not big name actresses. They built these careers of these people. Their casting for starting with the first phase was like excellent to the point where these characters, and I think that's where they're going to find it hard to, because they got the casting so right and they developed these characters over so long that it's like they've built. It's going to be hard to just like, oh, here's a new Iron Man.
Yeah,
see, like even with the Batman, it was just Batman. It was never really taken beyond just Batman. So it was like, I think if you just had the Iron Man movies and now now you got the new Iron Man. But now it's like, this is a whole, universe. This is something that's been built on top of the, each other. And I think that's going to be hard to just say, you know what, let's just go back to, from the top.
You're right about that, because, I mean, who would have thought my man who played Human Torch would play Captain America?
Yeah.
Right. That's true. That's true.
I never thought about that. That dude's a good actor.
Think about it like this. Like when we was going back to quad trilogies. I'm gonna say quad trilogies because you got 6-7 movies with Fast and the Furious, Mission Impossible. Think if Chad wanted to make 5 more John Wicks.
Yeah, John Wick.
I mean, Keanu Reeves is who he is, but at
He
the
would
same time,
he would disappear like you just did.
You right about it. Hold on.
Somebody
look.
pull the cord.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, man. They don't want to hear me out. They tapping me right now. So let me make a quick exit. I'll be right back.
I think what I think they even Keanu Reeves even considered doing a John Wick Chapter 5, right? If not, I think I read something about that.
I don't think he
No,
did. I think he was
Chad is
Did he say he
doing.
was done?
Yeah, cause what? So basically, what I read in one of the forums is there were some leaked notes for the writers that they were going to. He was going to have a son, like a far removed son, like a bastard son, that he was going to find, and all of that stuff, and then from that they will create a spinoff of John Wick dying, and whoever killed John Wick, the son will come for revenge and all of that good stuff. So, but they didn't go with that. They just left it where it was, which was great. I'm glad they did, because you don't need another John Wick, and if they do need another John Wick, make sure Keanu Reeves is still alive.
Right.
But it's just stuff like that. Like they have breathing room, even if they did a spinoff, which they will of. I believe the girl that was in John Wick.
Oh yeah, the girl.
She's going to have a TV show. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she's going to have a TV show, and they may give a backstory of John Wick when he was with the Russian mob, how he grew up and everything, which they can rebound off of that, because there was a standard of stop and go, like stop here and keep people thinking. Don't come out with another movie for another 3 or 4 years, but have people thinking like, man, a John Wick? I didn't even have people forget about it and then throw it in their face.
I mean, maybe I think something we don't give Marvel credit for, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but Marvel has changed even the thought of how movies and stuff, like what we do with movies and everything. Usually it was just a movie, that was it. Now everybody's thinking universe. Mm-hmm. Like before these Marvel movies, you didn't really think universe. Now you're thinking it's like you see a movie, it's like, okay, how can we spin this off? How can we build on it? How can we extend it? Now, unfortunately, Marvel was taking that too far the way they're doing it now. But
so what you're saying is Marvel is the iPhone of movies.
Oh, here we go.
Wait,
hold on.
Wait, Norm. What do you have?
Okay,
Apple?
Here's what I mean by that. And again, I can say this because I'm apostolic and I'm Pentecostal. So okay, so I can say this with being objective. Okay, no, Apple products change how we use phones. We have to admit that. I mean, anyway, they changed how we use phones. I mean, think about it. I mean, everything became real super simple, real easy to do, a couple features, and everybody was like, oh, wow, Apple's, yeah. I mean, think about it. The term podcast came from iTunes. They pretty much changed the way the world operated with that until a point where they kind of just went off a cliff and got trashed.
Apple stole emojis from BlackBerry. We're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to talk about that. But I mean, my point of what I'm saying is, you have a situation where you have something that changes how the game operates, but doesn't know how to pivot to the next level of the game.
Mm-hmm. So they stay the same.
So they stay the same.
It's Apple.
So Apple.
So you see what I'm saying?
I get it.
So with that being said, then with the current state of the MCU, does DC have a leg up since James Gunn's going over there now?
No. After what James Gunn just pulled, they really got a leg down in this Jonathan Majors situation because they have too much to stir, and we don't know what it's gonna taste like. You know what I'm saying? Like we just don't know at this point. So we got to see how Secret Wars goes, and they even made it worse with that Marvel's trailer. Like it just looked awful.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like it should be the TV show.
Like nobody's excited about that. Nobody's excited about that movie, and then
I'm not excited.
So brief commercial real quick. So Here's the thing, because the Church Nerds podcast, for the haters out there, we're not being misogynistic or whatever, what have you. If this movie had 3 dudes in it and it was the same one, we would say the exact same thing.
It has nothing to do with the women. It's literally the way they set that trailer up. It makes. Hopefully, they can rebound and the movie's actually good. That's what I'm hoping for, because I'm hoping they recover from that trailer. Because man, the way they was talking in those Reddit forums about that movie, I'm talking thousands, tens of thousands of people. Like, I'm not going to see this. This is going to be the downfall of Marvel. Phase 5 is going to be awful. Like, they was just going in. So I don't know, man. I hope Secret Wars carries. You know, I mean, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy is carrying Marvel right now. And the expectation for the future. But if Secret Wars don't do nothing, then like I said, it makes no sense to even keep going with Phase 5. Just scrap it and start over. Because nobody's going to want to look forward to Phase 6. What's Phase 6?
Deadpool 3, some other stuff.
Daredevil, right?
Yeah, I think Daredevil was in there.
Yep.
And then because it's supposed to be what the last movie for Phase 5 is what Kang Dynasty, and then after that, then the final movie is Secret Wars. Like, how do you put the final movie out before even building it up to that?
That's what I was gonna say. Is Kang Dynasty the final movie of Phase?
No,
It might not be.
no. It's Phase 6 is right now. It's just Deadpool 3, the Fantastic Four, and the 2 Avengers movies, the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So that's.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to see a Fantastic Four.
No,
I don't.
I want to see it done right.
I want to see them done correctly.
Of course, everybody wants to see it redeemed, but I just don't want to see it at all.
They've done it.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I never really cared for Fantastic Four.
Yeah, like I mean, even them as heroes. I mean, they're like very low, like they're lower grade than Ant-Man. Like, why would I want to see?
Hold on. I wouldn't say that.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me. This is off record.
This ain't off record.
But I watched Quantum. I watched Ant-Man again. I gave it another chance.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah, but I got the same result. Still trash. But hear me out. So remember when Thanos, when they went to his cabin, and they asked him what did he do with the Infinity Stones, and he said they were reduced to atoms. There's a clip in Ant-Man where it shows.
Oh, I've seen it. I know.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it at first either.
I'm like, are they going? Is that like a hint that they gonna bring
What, Infinity Stones back? They're just paperweights.
Okay.
According to
outside
Loki,
of time, they have no effect. They don't mean a thing.
They don't mean
All
a
right.
thing outside of time.
Because there's no time in the quantum realm, right?
right?
Yep.
Right.
Just
Hey.
paperweights.
That's right. Okay.
But to that question,
Answer my question.
to that question you said about DC and Marvel, I won't say that James Gunn going there is giving him a leg up, but I will say that it will open up a new category that will make them more competitive with Marvel. And that's in the cinema area, the cinematic movies, because DC does not do good cinematic movies, and they don't have a consistent theme. Now, Zack Snyder did his thing; his movie was great, but as a whole, as a universe, their animated movies have always dominated over the cinematic movie. But with James Gunn coming there now, even if he doesn't do top tier work, but he produces something that's functional and something that's better quality than what DC has ever put out, and can get people to latch on and say, hey, this is where we're going. We're going to get better as we go. I think it will make them more competitive with Marvel when you compare the two franchises.
Well, there is I mean, they mass produce their animes. I mean, I could see why it outlegs the movies for DC.
I mean, but their movies don't do good.
No.
I don't know, man. They
compared
don't
to
do bad
As a
either.
whole franchise, when you compare their animated segments, even if it's mass produced, just the quality and the care that they take in producing those movies
Yeah.
But
It's
I mean, but we gonna be
incredible.
clear though, they did stuff in those anime movies you can't do in
Yeah.
cinema. You
You can't
chop your
compete.
heads
You,
off and all kind of
you
wildness
can't.
like that.
You can't
Yeah, I'm
compete
not.
with nostalgia.
Yeah,
Animes. Like
but
if
I'm
I
talking
don't
about
feel
just
like.
how even the presentation, how it looks, how it
Yeah. Right.
is. Then the movie, you get like, what's that? Wonder Woman was 1947 or whatever it was.
84.
84.
84. See how bad it was? You
No,
can't
right.
remember the year.
Trash.
1947.
That was so horrible. The movie.
That was so bad.
I
I
think-
can't believe I wasted my time to go see that.
I think that
Green Lantern, trash.
Green Lantern was trash.
so-
Super
Horrible
trash.
I mean,
Super trash. It's
And
so
that's
bad. Ryan Reynolds
and
even
some
says
some of
it's
y'all
bad.
had that on y'all fantasy. Who picked Green Lantern on their fantasy team?
oh wait, I love
Hey.
the green. I love as a
And-
White Lantern Corps, not the Green Lantern, but I love the Lantern Corps now.
Look,
movie
I
was
can't wait
trash.
till we do this. I can't wait till we do this versus.
oh
Y'all
my
still,
God.
I still got my team written down.
But I think the thing with James Gunn going over there, I think right now where they have a leg up is kind of hope or a positive outlook. Right now, if you look at between the two, everything I see with Marvel is like it doesn't excite me. It doesn't bring me hope. I don't feel like it's going to do anything good. But the fact that James Gunn is going over DC is like, okay, I want to see what this next movie is. It's like you have that sense of excitement, that sense of hope. Like, hey, this may be something good. I think Marvel right now, we for the last couple of years, everybody's just kind of hoping it's like, okay, they're gonna return. They're gonna come back. They're gonna make that comeback. And then then they do something like Galaxy. Okay, yeah, there we go. All right, and then then next time in a month we're gonna get the Marvels, and it's like, yeah, see, what was this?
Terrible. So you're saying the MCU is like in a domestic violence situation where
Exactly, yeah.
you think they're gonna change, and then and then one time something good happens, and then it's back to the bad again, and it's like, man, why don't I leave this person? I don't.
And
understand.
I think originally, coming from a nostalgic standpoint, when we first heard what James Gunn was doing, I think we were coming from a child state just because, as a nostalgia format, we were looking forward to these movies coming out for DC, and not really understanding like literally what James Gunn is actually doing. Now that I go back and look at the DC movies that were released, because I definitely overrated a lot of them. And the writing wasn't all that good. So for him to bring in literally, genuine writing, and I also heard he might be bringing in Quentin Tarantino
Yeah, I heard that
as a
too.
co-director. Yeah. So I mean,
That adds up.
and
that's
I've
big.
Adds up
I've
to
always
more and
wanted,
more explosions.
man, I've always wanted a dark DCU. Like, if you've ever watched Teen Titans on HBO Max or Max now, I love it. I love the show.
Yeah.
It's pretty legit.
Oh, Titans. Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It was
But
great.
did you ever read the Blackest Night comics?
I tried to, man. I might try to get back into it.
Read it. Try to read it again now.
Okay.
Because I mean, that
so
brings
many
that
of them, though, man. There's a
It-
lot of comics.
it brings but it brings that dark element that we were
Right.
talking about, the Blackest Night. You got people come back from the dead. So
So with James Gunn, so here goes this whole slate that I think most of us looked at his plans, but for those that's watching, here's what James Gunn's plan is for DC. So he's got the spin-off series called Waller with Viola Davis coming back as Waller. I like her as Waller. I think she does really well. We got the Superman Legacy movie. I don't know who he's going to recast as Superman since they let Cavill go. So that'll be interesting.
Well, he can't really be. If you think about it, he really can't be Superman Legacy just because they've already gave him his, baby to they've already told Henry Cavill's story of Superman.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jay.
Yeah, no, you're good. So it said Superman Legacy, they saying is not an origin story. It just focuses on Superman balancing his Kryptonian heritage with his human upbringing, pretty much. So, is he supposed to be like a teenager or something? Smallville, pretty much.
Smallville all over again.
Yeah, just on the big screen. Then you got there you go, Brandon. You got Lanterns, but it's a TV series though.
Yeah, I know it's a TV series.
Oh,
But I think they got
interesting.
Jon Stewart. I think instead of Hal Jordan, I think they're bringing the black guy.
Yeah, I think Jon Stewart.
So
I've been wanting to see a Jon Stewart.
I
on the
have.
big
I
screen
have.
for a long man. He was my favorite. He was one of my favorite on Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. I love Jon Stewart.
Terrence Howard might be in that.
Oh,
I'm back, man. I'm back.
I'm black as night.
Look, I got that wheel, man. I got that wheel.
Get that wheel,
power,
man. Beware my power, man. Bring Lantern light, man.
Relate this light, man.
Y'all are fools, man.
Then you got the Authority that he's got.
What is that?
I don't know the Authority. It's a movie based on team of superheroes with rather extreme methods of protecting the planet.
It's kind of like Justice,
Kind of like Injustice League.
or Justice Society, just a
Yeah.
little grade of Justice Society. Yeah.
I got you. You got Brave and the Bold, which is Batman.
Is that a movie or a TV series?
It's a movie.
Raven.
Oh, it's Batman. It introduces his son Damian.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be interesting. So I wonder who
They're gonna go with Damien, huh? They done with Jason Todd and
So
What's the
Brandon, here's the
other-
most important thing. They Robert Pattinson won't be Batman. So
Hallelujah. No, I'm just-
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
So then are they
hallelujah.
going to have some more of the Bat family in this too?
I don't know.
because there was an animated film, the Batman family. So it had Nightwing,
Yeah.
Robin, Batgirl, Batman.
Everybody.
Y'all need to watch the Titans because they all up. Not all of them.
Oh, I love the Titans.
I watched the Titans.
Oh, there you go.
They got a Booster Gold HBO Max series coming out.
That might
I
be
heard about
interesting.
that. I
That
heard
might
about
be interesting.
Jay,
Oh,
put some respect on Max. It's no longer HBO Max.
I'm sorry.
There's no more HBO. Yes, it's just stream.
They just said so. Max, I apologize. Max.
No, I'll just play.
So you got Booster Gold, then you got Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I don't care much for Supergirl. I'm not gonna-
yeah, and this is not because she's a girl. It's
No, it's not because the girl just.
Yeah.
I wanna
Is that a
clarify
TV series or a movie?
That's a
They believe it's going to be
that's a movie.
It's a
'Cause
movie.
They just released not just released, but probably a couple months ago. That
her
Supergirl movie.
her cameo is in Flash.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Swamp Thing. I'm kind of excited.
Hey,
to see
Oh, I
that.
can't
I
wait
like-
to see it.
I like.
You know,
I like
I'm
Swamp Thing.
still upset that they canceled the production.
Why they
of that
cancel? It was
show.
super popular, wasn't it?
It was something with the contract, something with money.
I don't know. I ain't too hopeful about Swap Thing. I don't think people gonna get it.
I love.
I'm nervous
They
about it,
tell
too.
Right? They should.
Man, because Swap Thing is such an interesting character that unless you really plugged into it, it's gonna be like he's just some green monster that fight people.
Well, I hope they make it dark.
Well, he fights for the green.
So it's Captain Planet.
So no, I'm excited.
He did kind of remind you. What was the villain on Captain Planet?
Oh,
Pollution.
Pollution.
Well, pollution. Oh, pollution.
He was a villain on
crazy.
Captain Planet. So
I hope they make. I hope they make a live.
No, don't say that. Do not.
What,
they're not
live
gonna make
action?
it.
Yes,
No,
I would go see
absolutely
that,
not.
man.
No,
I know it might
not
be
a live
bad,
action.
but I still go see it just
a
because.
live action Swamp Thing.
No, Captain
No,
Planet.
live action
Oh.
Captain Planet.
That might be dope though. Y'all see that thing with Don Cheadle was Captain Planet? That was
Yeah.
Live action Captain Planet and Wonder Twins.
Dude.
And
Wonder Twins. Oh wow. Wonder Twin
Twins unite.
powers activate.
Activate. It seemed like people in DC, everyone forgot about them. It seemed like a lot of people.
I really do hope they put that Power Rangers to sleep. Stop trying to bring that back from the dead.
Hey, they got some new Power Rangers coming out?
I mean, Power Rangers
Yeah.
forever, man.
They got some coming out with the old cast, right?
No, they already came out. It's out.
Power
That was
Rangers.
just on Netflix.
Power Rangers 2023. Do not make that forever. Let that go.
Power Rangers is still making
It's
money,
still
man.
it's still big, bro.
They
It's
got
still
about
big.
50 different Power Rangers.
Yeah,
Hey,
man, it's the
more
part.
than
It's the multiverse. They can have all these different types.
Right.
Of
They got a deep multiverse.
You gotta
You know
have
what I'm
you gotta have Power Rangers throughout time, man.
With the
That's what
whole
it is.
power
You gotta-
grid, bro. Power Rangers ain't going nowhere.
Oh,
They lost
speaking of
it.
which, y'all see her about the last movie that my man Jason David Frank that's coming out within the next few weeks or so when he played like the White Dragon or something like that.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is just
Yeah.
the sort of knockoff Ranger.
Yeah, it's like
movie.
a Dark Ranger movie.
Yeah.
It's like the
Really?
last thing he filmed before he died.
Yeah, he's supposed to be some type of rogue.
Yeah, some type of
Really?
Well, Zordon died a long time ago in all the Power Ranger movies, so he ain't been in there.
Wait, no, I think I heard about that. I think it was part of like the comic book that Power Rangers comic book where he
yeah,
did
but
become like a
it's
dark
not
Ranger.
but it's not related
Well,
to Power
it-
Rangers. It's like
Yeah,
Oh.
it started off as a short movie. Now they're gonna make
Yeah.
it an actual production.
I'm gonna have to check
And,
it out.
You know,
I ain't seen
in,
nothing about
in
it.
the name of him.
yeah.
Well, I'm excited overall. I'm excited for Swamp Thing. I mean, that was the last thing that was on that list, but I'm excited for Swamp Thing because he's going to get running with Constantine. So Constantine is
I cannot wait for another
Y'all want to watch them
Constantine.
devil movies, man. I ain't with that.
Right.
That's
Nah,
not
man,
Kingdom
you know,
Minded,
you
man.
know.
That's not Kingdom.
So look, when you think about man,
I like the
Constantine was a
Constantine
great
movie. I liked it.
I wasn't scared at all or didn't feel anything towards it just because I know the comics.
Just because I got the Holy Ghost.
Exactly. We don't have a spirit of fear. And we showed it in his glory and grace. every
Come on,
day.
he said so.
preach straight.
You know. Hey, we fight demons every day, y'all. Come on.
But
Got that
I love.
sword.
The reason I say Constantine is because of the animated.
Yeah, I know what
Disney
you're talking about.
movies.
The animated movie. You got
Because I love him in there because he's sarcastic, but he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's why I love Constantine. And him
Yeah.
and Swamp Thing always getting into it. So I figured that
Yeah.
they're going to tie that in.
always.
They a fun duo for sure.
They really are.
You're like, what's
So
up?
I'm interested, man. I'm interested. We're gonna see how James Gunn, does this DC universe, how this reboot, man. Because obviously, like we all said, and we hope you in the comments agree that Marvel definitely needs to do something. Because right now they all over the place.
Mhm.
It's just a lot of chaos right now.
Are y'all gonna go see Beetle? The
I'm
Beetle.
going to see it.
I'm gonna say
I'll go see. I think I'll go see it.
Y'all let me know how it turns out.
Just because I like Blue Beetle, so you know.
I mean, he cool too, but I mean, I'll wait.
So I like Blue Beetle. I like Blue Beetle mainly because of Young Justice. He became a really good character that I like to watch. So I'm gonna go see it and see how it turns out. Why they got George Lopez in there, I don't know why, but
because it's Latin, man.
They
but
gotta put
we
some
got
comedy-
plenty of other Latin actors that could have been in there.
They
I
gotta
think
put
they
some
put him
comedy
in
in
there
there
because he's the biggest
too.
one.
Yeah, they
It-
try to put comedy. in
It
there.
ain't too many, well-known Latin comics.
Yeah, I mean,
just
Cheech and
to be
Chong-
honest.
I mean, the only person I can think of is Gabriel Iglesias. That's it.
Yeah,
Who's
He ain't
who's that
funny.
big? You don't think Gabe's what?
Yeah. yeah. He's low grade funny.
Yeah,
He's like Kevin Hart.
yeah.
Right now.
He's funny at 2 a.m. when you can't go to sleep.
right.
No, he's
Your
funny.
eyes are red and they're drooping.
You just chuckle a couple times.
He's funny when you far removed from the church and high. That's when he's funny.
You laugh to keep your
I
coming.
didn't want to say high. Like people speculate every day.
So before, hey man, so everyone in the comments, we want you to put your thoughts on Marvel.
Oh my gosh.
But real quick before we get out of here, man, we got the month of June is getting ready to come through, and we got some big name movies coming through, man. And I know for a fact every single one of us church nerds is going to go see these. We got June 2nd, we got Spider-Man Across the Spideyverse. That is going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait to go see that. Then we got June 9th, Transformers, Rise of the Beasts.
Yes, I want to see
Beast
that.
Wars. That is going to be good. That's looking
Boogeyman.
the fact checker is unfazed. He's like,
I'm sorry. I mean, Transformer done burned me too many times.
come on, it's the same as the Fast and Furious. Or I can't do it no more.
I'm not interested in seeing a Transformer King Kong. I'm sorry.
I mean, seriously.
I want to see it. I'm going to see it.
The last good one was like Bumblebee, and that was halfway decent.
Yeah.
But all the other Transformers, after the first one, I was like, I mean, I watched it because I love Transformers, but would I go back and watch it a second time? No.
Right after they casted Mark Wahlberg, that's when it went down.
That was random to me.
So you like Shia LaBeouf?
Shia LaBeouf carried that franchise, and the way they did him was so wrong.
I agree with that.
They did.
It was so wrong.
They definitely did him wrong. Then June 16th, we got The Flash.
Yeah.
What y'all say? Well, how
I
y'all
don't-
feel?
only
You already know how me and Brandon feel about that.
Not the Flash. Michael Keaton's Batman. I'm sorry. That's what the movie's called. That's the only reason why people want to go see it.
It's called The Flash, and you know,
I'm gonna fast forward through the bootleg and
that's what I'm gonna do. I don't want to see Ezra. I don't want to see Ezra.
I mean, I'm excited. I mean, the summer movies are pretty big, man. You got Mission Impossible,
and Barry Allen's always have blonde hair or brown hair. Ain't nobody got no. Okay, whatever.
This man, like, hold on.
Are they still? Did they push Aquaman back?
You said what?
I forgot about Aquaman.
I forgot about Aquaman.
There's another one.
I
don't know.
There is.
Yeah. I think they halted production because of old girl and
about that.
Well, they said she wasn't. Well, I thought she wasn't gonna get recasted in that because they said they didn't have good chemistry in the first one.
Coming out December.
I don't know.
December 25th. It comes out December 25th. Is
on Christmas? Why would they do that?
Christmas.
They ain't gonna make no money.
But as for
you got.
Go ahead, Dre.
You gotta do that the weekend before Christmas.
Yeah. Well,
what day does what does Christmas fall on this year? What was it on last year? A Saturday?
It don't matter.
Yeah, Christmas.
I was gonna say it don't. People be off regardless. That should be like a Thanksgiving weekend movie somewhere.
It should. It definitely should.
True.
I mean, you got the rest of the slate of the summer. You got the 5th Indiana Jones movie, which I heard or read.
That's Lucasfilms, right?
I'm tired of Indiana Jones.
I think Indiana Jones is tired of himself.
What was the last one? The last one I saw was Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
That one was decent.
Yeah, you know.
You got Mission Impossible. I know for a fact Norm's going to go see that.
I will be there.
I'm not really a fan of the Mission Impossible.
I'm on the fence on it myself. I'm
gonna leave that to Norm.
Okay.
I'll check it out, but I'm
just fill us in, Norm.
I got your back, man.
You've got.
I'll watch the kids for you for that one.
What'd you say, Drake? You gonna watch it?
Hey, he gonna play this. Like, hey, remember you said? Like,
hey. You gonna hear a doorbell ring and some kids outside your door and car peeling off.
Here you go, early start.
That's right. I'll meet you at Zion International.
You got Oppenheimer, directed by Christopher Nolan. I know that's probably
that looks real good, honestly. That looks
but what happens every time I see something about to happen? They just kill it. So what was that about, a nuclear bomb?
Yeah, Oppenheimer was the guy behind the atomic bomb.
Yep.
The guy who made it. Yeah.
The guy who made it. And then I had actually read because the guy Christopher Nolan said this because the Barbie movie is supposed to come out the same day. And he was like, people can go see both movies. We still gonna make more. The
Barbie movie.
Ain't nobody going to see 2 movies in one day.
Ain't nobody gonna do that. I heard. I did hear they considered Margot Robbie to play Sue Storm though.
Who was that?
Margot Robbie?
No, who was Sue Storm?
That's
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Oh, see again, we talking about I don't want to see. Yeah, I know who. Now I know who she is, but that's underneath Margot Robbie. She needs to play something better.
We got.
I just don't see her fit in that role, but you know.
Mm-hmm. You got Marvels.
She's too pretty for that role. You can't.
What'd you say, Jay?
We got Marvels, but don't nobody really care about that.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
Not too excited.
Not to, yeah.
We'll pass on
We
that.
still no, not because of.
I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to
I'm
go see it.
gonna watch
Okay.
it on. I'm gonna watch it on my Fire Stick. You know?
There we go, Brandon. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I think Norm with you too.
I am not with him.
You've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. I think it's an animated. Did y'all see the trailer for that?
I'm not excited.
I haven't seen the trailer for that one.
I like
Now there was a super
Comic
dope.
book style.
There was a super dope fan made Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with all the brothers died and stuff. I think it was Donatello.
I
Yeah.
think that's that fan made. I thought that was a.
I thought that was a comic. When
No, that's
when they all
actually
died.
a comic
Yeah, that was
storyline.
an actual
Yeah, called The
comic.
Last
Yeah.
Ronin. and
The Last
that was-
Ronin.
Last Ronin.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I know, but it's a fan made on YouTube.
Really?
somebody
didn't
made a
see
movie
it.
about that. Oh, okay.
Somebody made it.
I didn't see
Somebody
it.
made a
But I
fan
heard
made
they were.
version.
I heard they were considering making that into a
video game.
A video game at least. Yeah.
That'd be dope.
That'd be dope.
Blue Beetle Equalizer 3.
That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I'm gonna see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
They've
man.
been rolling
Man.
with equalizers, man.
Me and Jay watched
Norm,
the first
I
and
think you
second.
said last time, Norm.
Shout out to
if we
Denzel
get a-
Washington.
Shout out to Denzel. If we get a John Wick Equalizer crossover,
So if you're really an Equalizer fan, who watched the TV show?
You know what, Daryl? Don't start. Don't start. Don't start. Don't start. No, look, we ain't said nothing about
No
women
TV
this
show.
whole
I mean,
time.
honestly, I like Queen Latifah on Living Single. That's about as far as it goes. I mean, you know,
And bring it down the house.
and then yeah.
they're making an Expendables 4.
Oh, I'm so tired of that franchise.
That was like a cool thing.
That was
like
a cool
the first
part one.
Yeah.
Right. And this should have been it.
That should have been it. I mean, part two was okay.
Like,
Yeah, after
there's-
that.
You could tell it was going down lesser in quality.
At this point, they're really expendables. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
Like
just
the
trying
first
to
one,
extend.
it was
this
like,
thing.
okay, cool, yeah, let's see all these stars, see what how they work together, cool. But
Okay, so
you don't need
the
another one.
only person
It's like
that got left
Ocean's
is-
11.
Right, the only person that got left is Carl Weathers. He's the only one that had been in that one. They got everybody else in that movie.
Yeah.
They coming out with another Rambo. I'm just like, man, like
they
how
are.
many-
I didn't see that. They
Yeah,
going with another Rambo.
I think it's in production.
Well,
Oh.
y'all just seen Netflix made Arnold Schwarzenegger like the CEO or something or something. They made him in charge of something, bro.
I
Netflix-
honestly don't care what he do as long as he don't end up in another Terminator movie.
Yeah.
No, I think Terminator. That
Yeah, I
last
think
one.
Terminator is done.
Yeah, that last one, Genesis, was the end.
Yeah.
That was the end. I saw that on TikTok. That's
Oh,
how,
you
that's how
can't name it Genesis and call it the end. That's all I'm gonna say. So you might want to look forward to another one.
No, I'm good.
Craven the Hunter. They got a Craven the Hunter.
I did see that picture with Craven standing behind Spider-Man. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
Dune Part 2.
Doom 1 was terrible.
Look, you think so?
I know so. Doom 1
Doom 1
started
was trash.
it started off like decent and then it just took a nosedive.
You know, it kind of it reminded me of Maze Runner. The Scorcher. Maze Runner and
Scorch Trials.
Scorch Trial, yeah.
I can see that.
I like
Maybe-
it. Maze Runner was pretty good. I wonder why I didn't finish that.
I want to see another World War Z be made.
Another zombie movie?
No,
I'm
that's
down with
not. First of all, don't disrespect it like that, Brendan. That's not another zombie movie. That's World War Z.
Another zombie movie.
No, no.
What would that even be about? They solved the
virus problem and
virus
everything.
problem.
No,
Again?
no, y'all gotta watch it again. Just
When
watch
did
it
that come out?
again.
It's been a while since that came out, right?
Exactly. We just talked about this
And it's
situation.
spaced out. No.
Yes, there you go.
Things
There.
need to be spaced out, and that's the end.
Sometimes movies don't need sequels. I mean, we see that all the time. Sometimes one story is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wh-
Well,
what a-
think about this. I mean, December 15th, you got Wonka, that story about Willy Wonka, how he met, I guess, the Oompa Loompas or whatever.
Who gonna watch that?
And then-
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do not want to see another white man giving out chocolate to kids. It's too much going on in this world. It's too much going on in this world for all
Thank
of
you
that.
all for joining us for our
Thank
10th
you all.
episode.
It was a good 10 episodes.
It was. And then the last one is the Color Purple remake, which I'm not going to go see because.
Dude, but in that remake, are they on stage? Is she like singing on stage and stuff, or was that supposed to be like a memory, or like?
They said it was a twist on the classic movie.
They never been on no stage.
Let me
I'm
tell
gonna be
you
honest.
something.
I didn't see the first one. I don't plan on seeing this one.
For as long as God decides to keep me on this green earth, I am not going to see another slave movie.
But The Color Purple wasn't a slave
That
movie.
is a slave movie.
I repeat, as long as I'm on God's green earth, I am not going to see another slave movie.
Oh my God! Hey man, listen, we want all y'all in the comments, man. What movie y'all excited for to see?
Yeah.
Okay, AJ, can I ask one last question before we gotta
Go
get out of
ahead.
here?
Go ahead before we get out of here.
Before we get out of here, here's just a question, just to see where we are in life. Now, would you say everybody on this live liked Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Okay. So if Zack Snyder's Justice League came out in the theaters, would you go see it in the theaters knowing that it's over 4 hours long?
Of course.
Yes.
I go in there with a Red Bull.
Okay.
Full throttle.
I was just curious because I mean, you know, it was long.
I would.
I don't know what I would do
if he does another thing, because we already seen the kind of caliber that he can produce, and it was a movie worth seeing. So
Okay.
yes,
All right,
I go.
fair enough.
I would hey, if I sat at home to watch it, I might as well sit in the theater to watch it.
Yeah, but at home was free.
Again, there is a rumor that he is going to be making a DCU movie of the gods. That's it. I don't care how long it takes.
Yeah,
Just make it.
Just make it.
I don't care if my kid is 3 years old by the time
Let it breathe. Let it breathe,
Well,
man.
you-
Hey,
you're gonna be 70 years old and it just come out. We
Man, I'm
going to
telling
see
you.
it.
Now, see what's going to happen is it's
I've been
gonna be
waiting
like
way
Black
too
Adam.
long for this. You said
Black Adam, we waited 20 years for it to come out and it was trash.
Oh my God.
Hey man, this is the Church Nerds podcast, man. Listen, we have fun tonight talking about this because this is important. MCU, Marvel Studios, the people want y'all to do something because you guys
Get it together.
Get it together. Okay. I know we are nerds and we are part of the church. We got the oil and y'all need some.
Man, y'all so deep.
Y'all need some right now. Okay.
Come on, let us lay our hands on
Lay
you.
hands on top of y'all. All right. Kevin Feige, come on. You need
Get Al Sharpton out there
Oh my gosh.
so he
ain't
can
got
lay his
no
hands
goat.
on somebody.
Oh, man.
You said Al Sharpton ain't got no oil? What you saying, man?
Oil in his
He got no
hair.
ghost. I ain't saying he got no.
He got a lot of
in
oil.
the
He
hair.
He got a lot of activator. We know.
got a lot of Axe gel on that head.
Oh, man. Hey, man, listen, I'm
Got
Jay,
enough for the whole civil
Norman,
rights movement.
Andre, Brandon Travis, and Darrell Walls, man. We are the Church Nerds Podcast. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Go follow us on our Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, man. God bless you all.
Peace.
Peace.